We just found out that Ripple has been having meetings with the Trump administration in regards to cryptocurrency policy. And in this video, I want to talk about that as well as something big taking place tomorrow that we have been waiting for a very long time. In this video, we're going to talk about that as well as the Federal Reserve's interest rate cuts. Guys, make sure to stick around for this whole thing. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who takes the time to like these videos and subscribe to the channel. These two simple things really do help me out so much. Also, if you're in a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. But guys, there's a lot to talk about in this video, so we're going to try to move quick, but definitely some very exciting announcements, and it looks like the news stream is about to pick up big time for XRP. The first thing we need to talk about is the Federal Reserve just had their interest rate meeting and actually decided to cut interest rates about 25 basis points. Now, the hope was for 50 basis points. We got 25 basis points. Ultimately, this is definitely a step in the right direction. The Federal Reserve is bringing interest rates down, which will likely make capital easier to come by in the cryptocurrency market and encourage more people to invest in risk-on assets like cryptocurrencies. Now, this is a long time overdue, in my opinion. I expected this to happen a bit ago, but it looks like the process has finally started, and it looks like we're still expecting about 3 more rate cuts this year. Now, there's heavy incentives to cut rates. The United States government right now is paying more on interest than they are on their own military budget. So there's huge incentives for the United States government to cut rates. Rates are good for the cryptocurrency market. Almost every single bull run has happened in a low interest rate environment. It just makes capital easier to come by. At the end of the day, you don't have to get too much into it. When interest rates are low, capital's more available. It's called easy money, and therefore more money flows in the cryptocurrency market. So we should continue to see rate cuts through the end of the year. This is going to make more cash available to come into the cryptocurrency market and more dollars to be invested in risk-on assets in general. Now, the rest of this video, we're going to talk about why I believe a lot of these dollars coming back into circulation, coming back into the risk-on market are going to flow into XRP. But the first thing I want to take a quick look at is how XRP reacted to the rate cuts. Now, it's been pretty neutral. Honestly, it's because this rate cut decision has been long overdue and largely forecasted. General lesson in the market: if something is known, if something's talked about, if something's been prescribed and forecasted, the market likely already priced it in. Now, I don't think the market has priced in the long-term effects of these interest rate cuts, right? So the new easy money era we're going into. The market isn't going to react exponentially one way or the other on a 25 basis point cut. It might have jumped a little bit more on a 50 basis point cut, but a 25 cut, the market kind of saw this coming, was widely predicted, and therefore already factored in. But that doesn't mean it's not going to have a long-term effect, right? Going into an easy money regime, an easy money era in the United States is going to allow larger macro moves on XRP to really take shape. So while XRP's price didn't go on some parabolic rip because the Federal Reserve cut interest rates, it's certainly going to help massively in the next couple moves XRP is going to make that should take it close to the $8 to $10 region. Now, how quickly that happens, it looks like XRP is coming to the end of its current consolidation pattern right now. So I am expecting this move to happen in the very near future. Everything's lined up perfectly. We're going to talk about some very bullish announcements coming out of the Ripple and XRP side of things. But just looking at the macro level, things are moving in the right direction, and it's very good. I talked about this on the video last night, but the fact that XRP and the cryptocurrency market has performed so well, despite the fact that we've been in a high interest rate environment, is really the best sign you can see. The market is trading based off fundamentals, right? It's not just because there's easy money. But I talk about this all the time. Imagine if you're running a race, right? And for the first race, you didn't get to wear any shoes. And then the next race, you got to wear running shoes, right? You might still run a good race. You might still even win, but you're going to run a lot faster if you have good running shoes on. So this is kind of like what the easy money era can do to the cryptocurrency market. It's not necessarily that cryptocurrencies can't perform without it. They've been performing great, but if you really juice it up and you add the things that can make it perform even better, that is only a good sign. So we should see the environment steadily increasing throughout the end of the year. Very, very positive, step in the right direction, and I think we're going to continue to see this. With that said, we did get another big announcement earlier today, and that is that the CME is going to be adding options contracts for XRP. Once again, very, very good for institutional adoption. I know a lot of people probably saw this announcement and said, wait, did this already happen? No, before they actually added futures contracts. The difference between the futures contract and an option contract, not a lot you really need to know. It's more of an institutional thing. An options contract normally has set expiration dates and set terms to it, while a futures contract is usually agreed upon between who's issuing the contract and the party on the other side. So they're a little bit more flexible, a little bit more open, a little less standardized. While an options contract is more of like a, hey, we're listing this now. Buyers and sellers come on the other side of this listed options contract. So a little bit of a nuanced difference here, but what it really shows is that there's institutional demand for these higher level institutional grade products on the CME, right? Which is where all the large dollar volume is happening. It's not something that I think, right? Like, oh, everyone go buy options contracts on the CME. It's more of something that shows there's huge institutional interest on having these advanced products for XRP. And the fact that they're being listed on the CME is a great marker of the evolution of XRP, right? For a while, these things weren't needed because they weren't really desired. But now with more institutions coming in and requiring more complex strategies like hedging, pretty much they're saying, hey, there's now demand for more sophisticated products on XRP. Ultimately, over the long run, this is once again something that I believe is going to be very beneficial for price. A lot of different money managers are not going to get into something like XRP unless they can properly hedge risk, right? XRP is a very volatile asset. They might not be looking for the massive exponential gains that some of us are in terms of what XRP can offer. They might be okay with the vast majority of those gains and also hedging to the downside. And that's what these options contracts are going to allow. So over the long run, it will make people more comfortable allocating more and more money in higher quantities to XRP because they can handle risk accordingly and they can make sure to do things to make their investors comfortable with putting billions of dollars in this asset. So the fact that there's demand there is huge. The fact that the CME is working with things like XRP shows the institutional adoption. And over the long run, the sophistication of these products is only going to make it more likely that larger dollar volumes are going to be able to come into XRP. With that said, we did get another exciting announcement today, which it looks like Charles Hoskinson just leaked. He said, great meeting today. XRP Nation and the Ripple folks really did a lot more work to do, but great progress is being made on bipartisan legislation being passed this year. So it looks like Charles Hoskinson was actually at a meeting with DC with the Ripple team, and it looks like they're making very good effort on bipartisan legislation. And I don't think Charles would be saying this if it wasn't good for different altcoins like XRP and ADA. So great sign to see here. Obviously, one of the big worries when we first got involved with the Trump administration was, hey, is this going to be a Bitcoin maximalist administration? Is this going to be a pro-crypto administration, right? What are things going to look like? And it seemed like the Trump administration was very pro-crypto broadly, and then you had some people on the inside who are Bitcoin maximalists who are kind of like, whoa, 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 Bitcoin's not crypto. We should only be focusing on Bitcoin. I didn't think those things were going to last, right? It just seems like there's way too much effort on the Trump administration side to be pro-United States-based cryptocurrency. And it looks like, based off of what we're seeing, Ripple is at the table helping to make these policies, which is only a good sign. The fact that Ripple is really being seen as this de facto cryptocurrency expert in the United States is going to do wonders for XRP over the long run. For a while, right, it just kind of seemed like, oh, there's this Bitcoin thing, but no one knew who made it, and then everything else was offshore. Ripple and XRP are really going to be sitting at this unique place of being the gold standard of United States-based cryptocurrency. And guys, take a look at all the dominant internet companies in the world right now. They all come out of the United States. Everything of any significance comes out of the United States. So for Ripple to have a stronghold here and be seen as the leader as an American-based cryptocurrency company, it's going to pay huge dividends when it comes to investment dollars rolling into XRP. Very exciting stuff, huge development. Good news there, and it shows that Ripple has a seat at the table, like they should, in making these long-ranging policy decisions for XRP and the entire cryptocurrency market moving forward. Now, with all that said, talk about capital flows. It looks like we're going to have the first XRP ETF actually going live tomorrow. Now, it looks like I got lucky. I forecasted this one. I said I thought it was going to go live on Thursday, and it looks like tomorrow we are going to have the first XRP spot ETF. Now, I've talked about a long time on this channel that I believe this is going to be astronomical for XRP over the long run. It's going to add a ton of validity to XRP. It's going to allow new investors in, larger investment dollars, give new access to XRP, open up the market. And guys, once again, a testament to XRP's institutional demand. These things would not be being launched with XRP so up in front and center if there wasn't large amounts of people asking for this. Personally, for all the reasons we talked about in this video, I actually believe the XRP ETF has the potential to be one of the most widely adopted and widely purchased XRP ETF or the most widely adopted and widely purchased ETFs in the market. There's something special about XRP when it comes to the use case, when it comes to the institutional dominance, when it comes to the United States centric attitude. These kinds of things all together are very, very significant for the long-term value prop of XRP and getting new investment dollars into the asset. So overall, everything looks really, really good on this front. This ETF going live tomorrow launches what will likely be a tidal wave of XRP ETFs coming to light. Personally, I believe we're going to have close to 15 XRP ETFs before the end of the year, and I wouldn't be surprised if those brought in the order of magnitude of billions of dollars to XRP. In my video tomorrow, I think I'm going to talk a little bit more about what this can do for the price of XRP, jump back into the XRP price calculators. But guys, the good news is all of this is moving forward vastly faster than everyone expected. I know a lot of people who have been around for a while are thinking, oh, this ETF is taking forever. Guys, I didn't even think we'd see an XRP ETF this year, let alone next year. A lot of people talked about it at the end of Trump's term. So the fact that we're getting clarity in ETFs this year, just remember, less than a year ago, we all weren't sure if cryptocurrencies like XRP would even be allowed in the United States under Gary Gensler. Things are moving very quickly and the market's going to reflect that. I could not be more bullish on what's around the corner for XRP, considering everything we talked about in this video and a whole lot more I didn't even get a chance to mention. These are just things that happened today in regards to XRP. And guys, all of this indicates strong institutional adoption. And guys, we have never seen the capability for institutions really to get access to XRP. This is going to severely shake up the amount of money that can come into this asset, which is going to do huge things for the price of XRP over the long run. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. And for now, Mickle out.